Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Now, CBS 47 Eyewitness News begins with breaking news.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Eyewitness News at 11. I'm Esteban Reynoso, and we begin with breaking news. A 2-year-old boy is dead in Friant after being ran over by a truck. CHP says the parents were loading their car in the parking lot when the child walked into the road and was hit by a truck as it was driving slowly through the parking lot. Officers say the driver of the truck cooperated with the investigation and called 911. CPR was performed on the toddler, but it was unsuccessful.
It's always more difficult, of course, if it's a child involved. But you know, we do what we have to do, unfortunately. It was more of just under the tire. It wasn't an impact. The truck was going at a very slow speed. From the trajectory of what it looks like everything happened, he most likely didn't even see the toddler.
CHP does not believe drugs or alcohol played a factor in this incident, and officers. A Valley Church is asking for the community's help after thousands of dollars worth of equipment were robbed last week. CBS 47's Natalie Vera has the latest.
The Tabernacle Church in Sanger is looking to get its musical equipment back.
We were having a practice at the church, and we needed to get some equipment out of our trailer. We noticed that the trailer was missing.
This was back on Thursday, March 31st.
For us, it's a priority because we're looking at over $30,000 worth of equipment.
The pastor says they asked around the neighborhood and got some video. He says this SUV was parked on the church property when the theft happened last week. He says they were able to recover the trailer the next day, but it was empty.
Our appeal, though, is to those that have taken the equipment, if they would find it in their hearts to give it back to us, and I won't press any charges.
In the meantime, the church is working to raise funds for new equipment. They're having a taco sale on Sunday at 3 p.m., and they're also accepting donations in person or online.
And then just put on the additional note that it's for the sound equipment. What will happen is if they leave us all their information, they can get a tax write-off later at the end of the year.
More details on how to donate are on our website, yourcentralvalley.com. For now, the pastor has one last message to those who stole the equipment.
I've been in your shoes. I've made some bad decisions in my life, and I know what that's like, but I've also know what it's like to have mercy. And so what's been given to me, I want to give back to you.
Reporting in Sanger, Natalie Vera, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
A 2-car crash in Madera County killed 4 people on Highway 41. CHP says the call came in before midnight Friday of a crash on Highway 41 just north of Avenue 15. When officers got there, they found 2 cars on fire. They say the dark-colored car was traveling recklessly in the southbound lane on 41, then crossed into the northbound lanes trying to pass and crashed into another car on the road. We're told 4 people died, 2 in each car. CHP says they're still working to determine the cause of the crash, working on identifying the victims. And officials say they responded to a call just after 1:30 in the morning, early this morning, at a bar at 1st and Gettysburg Avenue. We're told the victim was stabbed in the stomach by his ex-girlfriend while he was at her house, then ended up at the bar. Police say he was then rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. This case is still under investigation. A musical tradition completed its 2nd year in Fresno's Tower District. Juanita Dame has that story.
A tradition that started right as COVID was ending.
It kind of started last year, like right after the pandemic, and it was kind of like this guerrilla show thing where everybody just wanted to put on shows when, you know, all the venues were closed down.
It was named Porch Fest, a day-long concert from a number of local bands, held on the front porches of homes in Fresno's Tower District.
Last year, I think we had like 50 bands. This year, we have over 100 bands, and it's just people playing all over Tower District and just having a good time.
Saturday afternoon, Porch Fest celebrated its 2nd year.
Did about a few blocks away over here, so it was a super awesome experience, and I'm so happy to do it again.
And for musicians like Buddha Love,
Fire to the Throne, we played earlier. We're one of the first bands to play.
It was another chance to share his band's music for their fans.
That screamy stuff, a lot of people might find it a little scary, but it's just all good and fun, heavy metal.
Vienna Mandela was here as a fan to her son's band.
Years ago, I got him a guitar for Christmas, and he just picked it up and taught himself how to play.
A self-taught, extremely proud of him.
They're fabulous. They've been playing together for several years.
Juanita Adame, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Liv Johnson. It's the beginning of a cool down here in the Central Valley. We're escaping the heat for a bit. It's already 11 degrees cooler right now than it was 24 hours ago, and that trend will continue. Looking outside of looking at our current temperatures, it is 63 degrees in Fresno, so a lot cooler than it was this time last night. Looking outside at our Valley Cam in Madera, we are seeing clear skies, and that will continue tomorrow. We are expecting mostly sunny skies. That's a look at your first forecast. I'll have your full forecast later in the show.
Thank you, Liv. We appreciate it. And a hot April and windy weather ahead are bringing red flag warnings to our state. The National Weather Service issued the earliest red flag warning on record. Now fire officials want people to be aware and prevent fires with an already thin firefighting workforce. Laura Hafley has the story.
The river fire burn scar is still fresh for Colfax.
It's kind of a shame, you know.
The fire burned through parts of Placer County, destroying homes and property, forcing neighbors to evacuate.
And so she gave me a call and said, hey, you know, this fire's starting and it's looking kind of bad.
The memories of last summer still top of mind for Mario Denning, who's already summer ahead.
Your actions end up saving your neighborhood.
Neighbors in Colfax are burning brush and, in Mario's case, collecting 80,000 pounds of pine needles.
I made over 20 trips to the dumps with pine needles. I mean, not only does it protect your land and your home, but it also provides CAL FIRE a safe, accessible place to go and fight if they have to fight.
But the time to prepare may be over. The National Weather Service has issued the earliest red flag warning on record.
Keeps starting earlier and earlier.
Assistant CAL FIRE Chief Steve Robinson says 25-mile-per-hour winds and plenty of dry fuel could make for a dangerous weekend.
Once that fire gets into that dry brush, that 25-mile-an-hour wind will just push the fire through that brush even faster.
CAL FIRE is asking neighbors to do their part as agency staffing is at its lowest winter levels and isn't scheduled to increase until the day after the red flag warning ends.
And to our south, the sheriff's deputy's car and the suspect of catalytic converter thefts collided in Los Angeles, putting an end to a police chase. It started when someone called 911 reporting a stolen catalytic converter, and police chased after the suspect's minivan. Police then called off the chase, deeming it too dangerous. That's when investigators say a deputy saw the van. The sheriff's car slammed into the minivan, and that's when 3 suspects got out of the car and tried to run away.
One suspect didn't make it too far. He just opened the door to the minivan and just fell on the ground there due to his injuries. The second one maybe ran about 10 feet, and he couldn't run any further because of his injuries. The third suspect, he was still in the area, and he was found later on hiding within a tree somewhere.
For 7 hours, the intersection where the crash happened was closed to traffic as the investigation was underway. The 3 suspects and the deputy were taken to the hospital, but were expected to be okay. The suspects were all arrested. The rate vaccines for COVID-19 are being administered is dropping nationwide as cases and hospitalizations do as well. There are still concerns of yet another COVID-19 wave with the BA.2 subvariant of Omicron spiking cases in other countries. Health officials say the next move is to educate the public about treatments of COVID. One health official says there is plenty of supply, but people lack the knowledge on how to access it.
Taking funding for granted. For much of the pandemic, we had this emergency response. Drugs were free, testing was free. It was all hands on deck. And now with funding really sort of stalled and people debating over it, it's leading to a ripple effect.
Friday night, new guidance coming down from the California Department of Public Health. Those that are asymptomatic no longer are recommended to quarantine. Coming up under a weekend edition of Eyewitness News at 11, civilians targeted in Ukraine, a mass casualty missile strike. Dozens. And here in the Central Valley, the Flat Track Museum held an open house. We'll take you there when we come back. Stay with us. And here's our Super Lotto numbers: 2, 7, 10, 33, 37, and 11. Check your tickets and good luck.
You peel them, then you eat them.
Any questions?
The show-stopping BMW i4 is electricity in its most powerful form. A perfect fusion of iconic handling and cutting-edge sophistication. With a range of up to 300 miles and the power of over 500 horses stampeding at a whisper. It's 100% electric and 100% BMW. BMW, the ultimate first ever all-electric machine. Build your own first ever all-electric BMW i4 today.
More Furniture has all our best sellers in stock and on sale, and we're ready to help you create the bedroom of your dreams with beds under $600.
Get this rustic queen bed for only $595.
Choose this contemporary queen bed for only $595.
Or this classic queen wood panel bed for only $595.
No matter what your style, all in stock. Beds to fit any budget, all in stock and on sale.
Preview these doorbusters and more at morefurniture.com.
What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
I'm John Burke. My job is to teach people how to peel peels, which, as it turns out, is actually pretty simple.
John Burke knows that. Everybody knows that. Peeling mandarins is obvious. You peel them, you eat them.
Any questions?
Eyewitness News is brought to you in part by Serpro of Clovis. This is CBS. This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Trains were not running out of an eastern Ukraine railway station after a missile attack killed at least 52 people who were trying to get out of the region. Instead, residents boarded buses or looked for other ways to leave the area where Russia is expected to wage the next stage of its unrelenting war on Ukraine. Elise Preston has the latest.
Civilians are struggling to find alternate ways to evacuate eastern Ukraine after a suspected Russian missile strike killed dozens and wounded more than 100 at a train station. The victims were trying to leave an onslaught of an Russian onslaught in its war on Ukraine. British military intelligence says Russia continues to hit Ukrainian non-combatants. Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson made a surprise visit to Ukraine Saturday and walked through the capital, Kyiv, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. On Sunday's 60 Minutes, Zelensky speaks with Scott Pelley.
What evidence is there of war crimes across Ukraine? The Ukrainian Security Service has intercepted communications, he told us. There are Russian soldiers talking to their parents about what they stole and who they abducted. There are recordings of Russian prisoners of war who admitted to killing people.
In a Boston vigil, long rows of children's shoes symbolize the war's youngest casualties. In New York City, a group held a mostly silent protest.
To bring attention to the fact that Russian soldiers in Ukraine are raping women and children. They are torturing men, women, and children, and they are murdering everything that they see in sight.
As it ended, the event was punctuated by a collective scream, organizers say, to give voice to the pain of the Ukrainian people. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
And back here to the Central Valley, an open house of cars, motorcycles, and much more at the Clovis Flat Track Museum today. The open house was free for everyone and ran from 10 o'clock in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. The museum has more than 100 motorcycles on display, and some people even brought their own to join in on the fun. Mike Keith is a board member with the museum. He says the board wants to keep the tradition of the museum alive, especially after the past 2 pandemic years.
It used to be once a year. We lost it because of COVID and everything else, but now this is the first one we started up, and it will be once a year from now on. We have roughly 100 motorcycles in the museum at all times, and then everybody, as you see on the street, they bring in more motorcycles just for display.
T-shirts, hats, food, and drinks were also sold there. The money goes back to the museum to keep the doors open and to hold events like this again. And dozens visited the Clovis Botanical Garden this afternoon for their 20th anniversary. The garden broke ground back in 2002, and organizers say more than 150 people showed up from all over the state to be a part of the festivities. Several trees in the garden were dedicated, including the Freedom Tree for the big 20-year anniversary. They say there's been a lot of changes since they first opened, as new plants are always being placed, and with the seasons come new blooms.
This garden is a special garden in that it is a special water-wise garden. It's all the plants that grow here, from trees, shrubs, flowers, bushes, ground covers. They're all appropriate for our climate here in the San Joaquin Valley. They use less water. That's not to say no water, but less water.
Organizers say it's a place that everyone can enjoy and see plants they wouldn't normally see in their own gardens at home. The garden is open Wednesday through Sunday from 9 to 4. There's no charge to walk through it. Coming up on your weekend edition, odds, a cancer survivor now looking to give back to the community. Her story when we come back.
And your forecast after the break, but first a look at your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by the Boz Allergy Center. We have high levels Sunday, Monday, medium to high, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll be right back.
You never take a break. And we won't either. Adding more local news to our award-winning lineup. CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 5, 6, 7, and now 7:30.
You entered Count the Mania to win with CBS 47, and Ricardo of Madeira won a $500 Visa gift card and a coastal getaway. Count the Mania with Furniture City, Dolphin Bay, and CBS 47.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
You've been dismissed.
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 Cable news networks have decided they only want to appeal to the extremes.
They only care about half of us. And if you don't agree with their point of view,
you're dismissed.
It's about time somebody did something.
At News Nation, we are here to bring back. Where we aren't yelling at each other, but telling all of America's stories.
Come back to the facts, back to balance.
Come back to the news. News Nation.
News for all America.
You're different from the other kids. You're so mature. It'll be our secret.
These are things that abusers say to gain the trust of kids. When the abuser is a priest, it's even more devastating for the child who trusted them. For over 30 years, Jeff Anderson has been fighting for survivors of child sexual abuse in California. If you were sexually abused, it's time to take your power back. Call Jeff Anderson and Associates confidentially today. 1-800-IT'S-TIME.
Disaster and damage can strike anytime. It's good to know the professionals at Serpro have the training and equipment to get your life back on the right track. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage. For restoration and cleaning, count on Serpro of Clovis, Visalia, Fresno, and Shaver. If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us for Eyewitness News Investigates. Now, your CBS 47 pinpoint weather.
Day. Welcome back, everyone. Well, it was another day where our high was well above the average. 80 degrees in Fresno, the average high 72. That's been the story of this past week, right? We saw 80s, we saw 90s, and we were beating records in heat this past week. But that is changing, and it's already changing. So right now, it is 11 degrees cooler in Fresno than it was 24 hours ago, 15 degrees cooler in Bakersfield. So the whole West Coast is feeling it. And actually, this next week, we are going to see temperatures that are well below the average. Last week we had well above the average. Now we're flip-flopping. And part of that is because of winds. So you can see Fresno, 14-mile-an-hour winds, Hanford, 13 miles an hour. More and actually advisory. There was one in Merced and Madera today, but it ended at 8 p.m. The one in the South Valley will end tomorrow at 8 p.m. But high winds, that's what's helping this cool down. The air quality is expected to be moderate tomorrow everywhere except for Sequoia. So if you are sensitive to bad air quality or you have allergies, you might want to stay inside because those winds plus the air quality is going to be a bad mix. Current temperatures 63 degrees in Fresno, 59 in Visalia, 56 in Porterville, 61 in Modesto, and 57 in Mariposa. Visibility is clear, and it's going to be clear tomorrow as well. This is looking at Sunday. We have basically no cloud coverage coming in. It's going to be sunny. It's going to be 75 right before that cool down for the rest of the week. Lows tonight, 50 in Fresno, 48 in Madera, 49 in Merced, 32 in Yosemite, and 43 in Shaver Lake. Highs tomorrow, like I just said, 75 degrees in Fresno, so picture perfect for actually a lot of the valley. 74 in Madera, 75 in Merced. Yosemite a little bit cooler. The high tomorrow is only 45, 52 in Shaver Lake, and 59 in Sequoia. Our renewable solar forecast, 28,000 megawatt hours of electricity generated today. Tomorrow, 26,000 and 26,000 on Monday. Looking at your day ahead, clear skies tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., 51 degrees, so it's going to be a little bit cooler. It's going to be 55 by 10, 65 by 1, and then by 4 p.m., 72, and then 73, so a really nice evening. And then, as I said, we are going to see a major cool down. We go from 75 on Sunday to a high of 61 on Monday and rain. The rain is expected after 11 a.m., maybe noon. We do have slight chances on Tuesday and Thursday, but only about 20%. And then, I mean, you can see our highs just go to 61, 66. We went from 90s to just highs in the 60s. We warm up again on Saturday with a high of 77 and then lows in the 40s. So if you were hoping for a cool down, that's exactly what you are getting. Esteban, I'll send it back to you.
Awesome, Liv. Thank you. We appreciate it. And coming up next in sports, the Fresno Grizzlies are back in action tonight. Angelique Martinez has highlights as the Grizzlies take on Stockton. That's next in Sports Central.
Out of Papa Murphy's kitchen, the Buffalo Ranch Chicken Pizza.
Actually, it's fresh out of my oven.
Dad, it's just an expression.
Grilled chicken, crunchy bacon, covered in creamy buffalo sauce. Now that is an expression.
Change the way you pizza.
A lot has changed over 60 years, and so has the way Kgpe Health cares for our community. But it's our respect for people, the way we treat them with integrity and compassion, that truly makes a difference. Health is our passion, and our vision is to be your world-class healthcare choice for life.
Don't choose between style and comfort. Get both at the SAS Shoe Store at Blackstone and Herndon. SAS Shoes, America's comfort shoes, have more styles and colors than ever before. If you have foot or back pain, wear orthotics, have diabetes, or just want the most comfortable shoes you've ever worn, then come see the new styles and colors and get a custom fitting at the locally owned SAS Shoe Store at Blackstone and Herndon. Life's a journey. Wear comfortable shoes.
Midland Tractor has a history of partnering with local growers, creating successes as rich as the valley soil. We bring the latest technology to our customers and provide on-site training and startup with the promise to stay until your equipment is performing as it should. Midland Tractor guides and supports through sales and unmatched service from the ground up. We've been committed to grower success for over 40 years. Thanks to you, our story continues. Midland Tractor Equipment Solutions, guaranteed.
Your financial support for Central California Legal Services means victory for family fraud. There are so many more that need your help. Bring justice to our community. You help CCLS fight for justice. Donate today.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
When sending and receiving packages, request that your delivery company put them out of sight on your porch. And remember to track your packages and monitor your AmeriGuard doorbell camera.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
The latest conditions live. The CBS 47 Valley Cam Network on Eyewitness News. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Opening weekend continues around the Central Valley for our local minor league teams. The Grizzlies are fresh off a walk-off victory on Friday night at Kgpe Park. CBS 47 morning anchor Megan Roop sang the national anthem tonight in downtown Fresno. It's game 2 of the series between the Grizzlies and the Stockton Ports. Bottom of the 4th inning, we're scoreless with 1 on for the Grizzlies. Yanquel Fernandez blasts one deep to right field. This one landing right in front of the wall. Juan Brito turns on the Jets. He's rounding third base, gets the Grizzlies on the board, and Fresno piles it on to take down Stockton 16-4. These two close out the series tomorrow. Over in Visalia, the Rawhide continue their series against Rancho Cucamonga, and the Quakes take game 2 over the Hide 14-7. The series is now split. The Rawhide racked in 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, but just couldn't catch up to the Quakes' early 10-run lead. The series finale is scheduled for 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon in Visalia. At the college ranks, the Fresno State Bulldogs continue their weekend stint at home against New Mexico. The Dogs enter Saturday's game sitting in 3rd in the Mountain West standings. Bottom of the 5th inning, Lobos lead 4-1 over the Dogs. Andrew Kgpe up to bat. He sends the ball soaring to center field. High fly ball tracks back. It's over the wall. A 2-run homer for Kgpe. Fresno State trails 4-3. And the Dogs just can't find another. New Mexico takes game 2, 4-3 over Fresno State. These two are at it again on Sunday at 1:05 p.m. Bulldog softball in action as well today. The Dogs earned a 10-2 victory over Utah State at Margie Wright Diamond. With the win, Fresno State improves to 10-28 overall and secured their 3rd Mountain West win of the year. The Dogs close out the series against Utah State on Sunday. Olympic figure skater Alyssa Liu has announced her retirement at 16 years old. Liu was born right here in the Central Valley in Clovis. Liu took to Instagram to share her decision. She said she's had an insane 11 years on the ice with a lot of good and a lot of bad. She won her first senior U.S. title in 2019 as a 13-year-old, becoming the youngest woman to do so individually. The Masters continues at Augusta National. All eyes on the tournament heading into Sunday to see who's heading home with that green jacket. Scottie Scheffler made 3 bogeys in his last 5 holes Saturday and is now just 3 strokes ahead of Cam Smith going into Sunday. Earlier on Saturday, Scheffler had a lengthy lead. Meanwhile, 5-time Masters champion Tiger Woods is out of contention after his worst round ever at Augusta National. Nonetheless, Woods received a standing ovation, and you always knew where Tiger was when you'd hear the crowd. Tiger's Masters appearance is his first tournament over 500 days. Also, the Fresno State water polo team are the Golden Coast Conference regular season champions after defeating LMU 9-5. That's going to do it for sports. Back to you, Esteban.
Thank you, Angelique. And coming up on Eyewitness News at 11, giving to those who need it most while fighting her own battle. The cancer survivor's generosity when we come back.
Don't worry, Ma. We'll be there soon.
We? Is this the one?
Take me to another level. Most importantly, the one that helps me discover the coolest places.
I can't wait to meet her.
Definitely the one.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Frontier.
Now get 0.9% APR financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
At LongJohnSilvers.com, you can order online and sail past the line. Try our famous fish and shrimp combo, plucked from the deep blue sea, hand battered and fried to golden perfection. Pick one. LongJohnSilvers.com. Fish, yeah.
Introducing Frog Tape Pro Grade Painter's Tape, the only blue tape good enough to be called Frog Tape. Available exclusively in a contractor multi-pack. Frog Tape Pro Grade combines the value of a traditional blue painter's tape with paint block technology that makes Frog Tape Painter's Tapes #1 for sharp lines. How does it work? Paint block technology forms a micro barrier to seal the edges of the tape and prevents paint bleed, delivering the paint line performance you expect from the Frog Tape brand. Frog Tape Performance, priced for the pro.
No matter what's happening outside with the Lennox Ultimate Comfort System, it's always perfect inside. Not just perfect air, perfectly tuned to your home air, and operates whisper quiet. The Lennox Ultimate Comfort System. Perfect air, fully realized. Don't you wish everything was perfect? Lennox, air is life. Make it perfect.
Call Donald P. Dick Air Conditioning today.
What makes Best Reviews the best reviews?
Milk?
They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on pretty much everything. So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
To watch CBS 47 Eyewitness News anytime, go to all around us. Events unfolding. Start your day with breaking news from the break of dawn to prepare you for the day ahead with Anthony Bailey, Megan Ruth, here when you need them. Investigative journalism, up-to-date pinpoint weather, on air and online. The Valley's only AM team on Eyewitness News This Morning. Weekdays from 5 to 7 on CBS 47.
KC24 News is brought to you in part by Jets Plus.
This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. A local beauty queen and cancer patient brought some smiles to children this weekend. Andrea Andrade teamed up with local businesses to create Easter baskets for childhood cancer patients. She and Fuego the Fox, the official mascot soccer team, as well as several other volunteers, made stops in Sanger and Fresno to hand deliver these baskets.
We asked the community for help, and you know what? The community came through, and the community actually donated, money in order for us to create some of these baskets also.
She says she hopes to continue this Easter tradition for years to come. And we're joined by CBS 47's Liv Johnson for one last check of the forecast. So Liv, obviously out there when you hand deliver baskets, it's got to be sunny.
Yeah,
right?
It's got to be. I covered the story last year. It's a great story. I think
That's
I did
cool.
a package on it. Should have just brought it out of the archives.
That's awesome. Yeah, we should have just pulled from there.
Last year at this time.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better than what we did today.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, there we go. We'll run it back.
Yes, so chances of rain on Monday. It's going to be only a high of 61, so we're seeing that drop down. But, the rest of the week, if you like it a little bit cool, that's not the graphic that's on our screen right now, but good thing I have it memorized.
There you go.
So, yeah, you just have to have, there's highs in the 60s for the rest of the week, and then chances of rain on Tuesday, Thursday, but really it's just Monday. We're going to see some rain. So we might be out there reporting on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know we can count on you. We
Yes,
appreciate it, Liv.
obviously.
Thank you so much, and thanks for watching Eyewitness News at 11. Have a great night.
This news is on air, online, and on the go. Take Eyewitness News with you and share your stories with us on Facebook, Twitter, and on yourcentralvalley.com. You entered Count the Mania to win with CBS 47 and Ricardo of Madeira won a $500 Visa gift card and a coastal getaway. Count the Mania with Furniture City, Dolphin Bay, and CBS 47.
The weather is changing, grass is sprouting, and flowers are blooming earlier than usual. Buzz Allergy knows that colds, as well as COVID-19 and other viruses, have similar symptoms to allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. Take away the guesswork and get proper diagnosis and early treatment before allergy symptoms arrive. There's no need to suffer. Live a full and active life. Contact Buzz Allergy today and breathe easier.
Get ready to lounge in style with more furniture for less.
Our most comfortable, best-selling reclining section.
Oversized dual power sectional with 3 reclining seats for only $29.95.
Or choose this leather 6-piece sectional with 3 power reclining seats for only $29.95.
And this 6-piece sectional with chaise is only $29.95. Any one you choose features maximum comfort and space for the whole family.
Get these values in stock and on sale right now, only at More Furniture.
The following paid commercial program does not reflect the opinions and views of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their employees and affiliates.
The following is a paid presentation for the Good Feet.